Scripture reveals a dark secret about the second month. That explains why your hard work often collapses just when you think you are safe. You may perceive these sudden downfalls as mere misfortune, but in the spiritual realm, they are not accidents. They are calculated structural failures. Ignoring this hidden flaw guarantees that no matter how high you build your tower, it remains destined to crumble before the harvest. By decoding the ancient Hebrew blueprint for the second month, we uncover the specific missing stone that the enemy seeks to steal from your bloodline. You will discover that true deliverance does not come from climbing higher, but from descending into the darkness, where the root lies. Prepare your spirit, for we are about to descend into the foundation. Let us begin with the first brutal truth. You are suffering from what the spiritual realm calls the Sinkhole Syndrome. Have you ever wondered why February is the shortest month of the year? The world calls it history, but Scripture calls it compression. The shortest month endures the highest pressure, and you, born in this season, share that fate. Look at your finances, look at your relationships. Does your life feel like building a castle on quicksand? You struggle to accumulate wealth, but the moment you gain a little, a sudden crisis sweeps it away. Money flows in the front door and immediately drains out the back. You build a relationship, pouring your heart into it, only for it to collapse overnight without a clear reason. This is not clumsiness, and please do not call it bad luck. Bad luck is a surface scratch. What you are facing is a collapse from underneath. Your enemy is intelligent. He knows you are strong, so he does not attack you directly. Instead, he attacks your stability. He patiently hollows out the spiritual ground beneath your feet, waiting for the day you climb the highest to let gravity destroy you. But why does the enemy fear your foundation so much? Why does he dedicate his existence to sabotaging the footing of the February born? The answer lies in an ancient Hebrew code that pastors rarely reveal. This leads us to the second dark secret, the Yasad code. When the Bible speaks of a foundation, the original Hebrew uses the word Yasad. Most people think a foundation is just dead concrete or stone, but Yasad does not mean construction material. It means to take counsel to set together. Here is the chilling truth about your identity. If you were born in February, you are not a mason. You are the keeper of the underground blueprint. God has installed a spiritual X-ray in your eyes. You are the only one in your family who sees the cracks that others ignore. You walk into a room, and you know who is lying. You look at a business plan, and you see the bankruptcy before it happens. But this gift is the reason for your isolation. Because you see the structural failures, you try to warn people. But instead of thanking you, they call you negative. They label you paranoid. They isolate you. The enemy wants to silence you, because if you speak up, his plan to demolish the house will fail. You are carrying the weight of a pillar, yet you are treated like a stumbling block. However, seeing the cracks is not enough to save you. Knowing the house is about to fall, without knowing how to reinforce it, means you will be buried along with it. You need a strategy. To survive this month, you must learn to fight like the bloodiest warrior builder in the Old Testament. Let me tell you about your spiritual brother in Scripture, Nehemiah. Nehemiah was not a pastor. He was a builder. When he accepted the assignment to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem, he did not work in peace. Enemies surrounded him, mocking, "That stone wall is so weak. If a fox climbs on it, it will crumble." Does that sound familiar? That is exactly what the enemy whispers to you daily. You won't make it. This project will fail. But Nehemiah did not argue. He activated the war protocol. Nehemiah chapter 4, verse 17, paints the most terrifying image of construction. Those who built on the wall labored with one hand and held a weapon with the other. This is the bloody destiny of the February born. You are not allowed to be naive. You cannot focus solely on economics and ignore the spiritual war. Your mission is sword and trowel. If you drop the trowel, you face poverty. But if you drop the sword, you face death. The enemy wants you exhausted from multitasking, hoping you will drop your weapon to focus on making money. And the moment you drop the sword, he strikes. However, the type of sword you must carry depends exactly on the day of your birth. Scripture divides February into 3 distinct warrior groups. If you pick up the wrong weapon, you will injure yourself. Listen closely to see where you belong. If you were born from February 1st to the 10th, you are the architect. Like the Apostle Paul, you possess a sharp, cold logic. You see the structure of every problem, but your fatal shadow side is intellectual pride. The enemy attacks by making you believe you are smarter than God. When you build without prayer, your Tower of Babel will fall. If you were born from the 11th to the 20th, you are the intercessor. Your soul carries the frequency of Queen Esther. You do not build with bricks, you build with emotions. But be warned, your vulnerability is compassion fatigue. The enemy sends energy vampires to drain you dry and crack your own foundation. If you were born from the 21st to the 29th, you are the restorer. You are drawn to broken things, old houses, and dangerously broken people. Your mission is rebirth. But your deadly risk is the Messiah complex. You try to fix people whom God has destined for destruction. And when their house collapses, it crushes you too. No matter which group you belong to, if the foundation beneath you has been hollowed out, all current efforts are meaningless. The Bible asks a terrifying question in Psalm 11:3. If the foundations be destroyed, what can the righteous do? Do not panic. God has not left you unarmed. You must execute the Psalm 11 protocol immediately. Step 1, the bloodline audit. Look at your father. Look at your grandfather. Is there a repeating pattern of failure, divorce, bankruptcy, sickness? That is the crack in the foundation. Pray to sever the tie with that ancient crack. You cannot build a new house on a rotten old foundation. Step 2, strategic silence. February is the month of concealment. Adopt Nehemiah's discipline. He inspected the walls at night and told no one what God had put in his heart. Keep your plans secret. Silence is your strongest concrete right now. Step 3, the covenant reset. The only foundation that cannot be destroyed is a covenant. When you stand on the covenant, you are no longer standing on the world's quicksand. Remember, February is not the month for speed. It is the month for depth. Now you hold the Yasad code. You know how to wield the sword and the trowel. Your spiritual foundation is reinforced, but a solid foundation renders itself useless if the house built upon it is consumed by a strange fire. February gave you stability, but March brings a dangerous assignment from God. The enemy knows you have fortified the ground beneath, so he will shift his tactic. He will no longer attack from below. He will strike from above. Do not enter the battlefield of March without armor. Click the video on the screen immediately to receive your weapon for the next month. Do not let the enemy catch you undefended.